evening, everyone. It's Wednesday night. It's 8 o'clock. It's the Next Generation Review Show. Yay! It's us. We're back after a week off. And it seems like, even though it was just 1 week off, it seems like such a long time ago we were last here. But there you go.
Somewhere it was a long time.
Somewhere around a black hole or somewhere where time moves a lot slowly because of gravitational forces.
In ant time.
Yeah. Yes, so welcome. We are here. We are back with another TNG episode. And this week we are reviewing Season 2's episode, The Icarus Factor. So I hope you remembered that from 2 weeks ago, guys, and you got the right episode. And here's hoping.
The Icky Factor.
The Icky Factor. And as always, I'm joined by my co-hosts, G-Star and Mazza McBob. Good evening to you lovely people.
Good evening.
And how's your, well, I wouldn't say the last week been for you guys, but the last 2 weeks been? Have you been well?
You do not want to ask me that question.
No, we talked about that off air beforehand, and G-Star's not had a good week this week. He's not had the best of times. And
if it could go wrong this week, it's gone wrong.
It's gone wrong.
That's not good.
No, not good.
But there's another half of the week that can go right and right and right.
That's true.
Especially on Friday, I have a good feeling about Friday night.
It's party time Friday night. It's party time on the Monty Zone Friday night.
The best of coming at you.
Yeah. The best of the Monty Zone on Friday. We're looking forward to that. It's our sort of end of season 1 of the Monty Zone, and we're having a little mini celebration that we got this far. So please feel free to join us then. We have many special guests and interviews and things. It's exciting. And G-Star has worked very hard on it. So, we do hope you come along for that. Is that a gin and tonic I see there, Mazza?
It's not. It's some ice with, unusually for me, a white wine. It's called the Gooseberry Bush.
The Gooseberry Bush. And
I just put ice in it because I thought, well, I've got it out of the fridge. It's so blinking hot here. I shouldn't tell you this, but I'm sat here without any trousers on because it's so hot. So, I thought I'd have something icy for a change. Yeah,
that's a whole different show. That's keep that for your OnlyFans. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So,
TMI, dude.
What you're saying is you've not turned up in full uniform, which, I think has some sort of punishment.
Well, to be fair, this man's top is long enough that it kind of looks like one of those miniskirt things. So,
the original series uniform.
Yeah.
One of those season 1.
I'm going for that same look.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We don't look any better below waistline.
I usually wear black trousers or black leggings, but not today. I did put some on and I was like, oh, I can't handle this. I'm just going to melt.
So, yes, hello to Stu Plum, Mazza McBob. Oh, that's you. You're here. That's good. And Karen. We've got Stu Plum and Karen on so far this evening. I'm sure Mickey's probably just making his way back from the
gym. And where's Smiler?
Smiler is out and about. She's not available at the moment, but
oh my God, who's going to do question time?
I know. We'll have to
just use their ear holes. And, answer.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. But Smiler will be with us in a bit later on. But yes, she's being mummy taxi service at the moment.
Just before we get into anything, just my usual reminder so that I know that I've done my job properly. Please don't forget to do the thumbs up to this live stream.
I'm a good girl.
And subscribe if you haven't, but we know that pretty much everybody has, hopefully.
Yes.
Be after you if you haven't.
Yes. Yeah. So should we get straight on with the episode?
Yeah, why not? Oh,
G-Star?
G-Star has something
Yeah.
to say.
Well, no, I'm going to do the first 2 lines of the narration. Because we go straight into a question time, guys. So, Mickey, hurry up, back from the gym. Got to be quick.
Well, this is Stu Plum and Karen's chance.
They could get a head start before he
Get a
joins.
head start.
Yeah.
Okay, so the narration starts. Captain Picard is recording a captain's log, and he starts explaining to us that the Enterprise is on its way to Starbase Montgomery. But for what? Is it A, personnel consultations, B, transwarp consultations, C, science consultations, or D, engineering consultations? The Enterprise is on its way to Starbase Montgomery for what? A, personnel consultations, B, transwarp consultations, C, science consultations, or D, engineering consultations?
There's a clue in the name of the starbase.
Is there now? I suppose so. Yeah, that's a good point. But while we're talking about the name of the starbase, it's just a little coinky-dink.
Right.
Starbase Montgomery. The major guest star in this episode is called Mitchell Ryan. And then he actually went on a few years later to go on to the sitcom Dharma and Greg,
Oh, right.
in which he was called Edward Montgomery. And
Oh,
here
there
he
you
is
go.
at Montgomery Space Station. So, yeah, there you go. Little coinky dink.
Coinky dink.
So I now pass over to you, Monty Van,
Oh,
as
okay.
the main narrator. That was my 2 lines.
For some reason, I just put my hands on the keyboard as though I was about to play Fortnite, finding the AWSD buttons. I don't know where I thought I was steering this show.
What would happen if you pressed them?
It's probably an indication, though, of what you've been doing too much.
Yeah, it's just this is not Thursday. Oh, did anybody see? I don't know if people saw, but
I saw.
I did a live stream on Sunday.
We were just like, why is he doing a live stream on today? Like, he didn't say he was going to. And then we realized it was a mistake.
Didn't even know I was doing a live stream. Spent the whole afternoon on Fortnite on YouTube without even realizing I was on YouTube. And
You could have said all sorts.
there's people talking to me in the comments, and I was completely ignoring them all because I wasn't aware I was live.
Ah, bless.
Yeah, that was,
Yeah, we did joke about it because it said Thursday night live stream, and I'm like, it's a Sunday.
yeah. I was recording it. I wanted to record it just in case, and then, but
Mickey's come on board.
Yeah.
He's jumped on board the Enterprise to join us. So I'm going to repeat the first question, just because we haven't got an answer in from Karen yet either. But thank you for your answer, Stu Plum. So the first question was, Mickey, the Enterprise is on its way to Starbase Montgomery, but for what? A, personnel consultations, B, transwarp consultations, C, science consultations, or D, engineering consultations. The choice is yours. It's worth 25 TNG points and a lieutenant commander promotion.
very good. Very good. Okay, then. Yes. So,
Crack on.
the Enterprise is on its way to Starbase Montgomery. It's a bit difficult to actually talk about the rest of the teaser section without completely giving that.
Well, just bypass it then.
It's the whole starting up. It's the whole sort of like introduction to the episode. How can I?
Well, just say it then.
Karen, get your answer in, and then we can move on. Please save me. Okay. Well, somewhere on the ship, could be anywhere really. Data thinks the readouts are insignificant, but after consulting with George
There's
Picard,
anomalies, isn't there?
there are anomalies. Yeah.
Thinks they're insignificant.
Yes, they're minor readout anomalies. Yeah. Data thinks the minor readout anomalies are insignificant, but after consulting with Geordi, Picard thinks it seems to be a sufficient enough problem to warrant getting it checked out. Riker questions the fact that a stopover at Montgomery wasn't on the mission itinerary, but Picard thinks everyone could use 12-hour layover. Plus, he's just received some priority transfer requests. Riker wants to know what they are. Was it crew that are leaving or joining? But he doesn't get an answer. Later, Riker then meets Picard in the observation lounge, and it turns out that the crew transfer request was for Riker himself. He's been selected to be captain of the USS Ares, who has recently picked up indications of intelligent life in the Vega Omicron system. He has 12 hours to think it over, but Picard prematurely congratulates him. And that's the end of our teaser. Have we got all the answers in?
Nope.
It was quite,
But we'll give out the answer anyway.
Yep.
It was quite nice how Picard reflected back on his, first encounter with Riker when he got him to do the manual docking.
Yeah.
Which he did, really well, and he sort of said, "Oh, I didn't really say at the time how impressive that was and stuff." So it's nice to sort of have that full circle back to encounter at Farpoint.
Yeah,
He was
it was.
obviously reflecting on their time together, which was quite cute.
Yeah. Even though Riker in that manual docking, I think, said two things to Con.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you
Dock ship.
That's right. Dock ship. Oh, well done, Riker. You done a brilliant job.
Oh,
At
the
that,
skill it took you.
to give that order. Yeah. Okay. Answer G.
The answer is, well, the person that is getting the first lieutenant commander promotion and 25 TNG points is the man that's ran all the way home from the gym, and that would be Mickey.
Karen
Karen.
did get her answer in before you said it. So yeah, we got two actually.
2 Ds.
2 Ds. It's a double D.
The A and the D spells add.
Add.
So add up their scores.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grats. So we're into Act 1. They enter orbit around Starbase Montgomery. The clue being, of course, Montgomery being the first name of the famous Federation Starfleet engineer Montgomery Scott. On the bridge.
It's like he was expecting applause or something.
I kind of was. Yeah.
Yay, Scotty! Woo!
Hey, yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's good. That's the reaction I was looking for.
No problem.
On the bridge, Picard informs Riker that they are sending a civilian advisor to personally brief them on the Ares mission. He tells Riker that he is a strategic attaché with knowledge of the frontier region.
Pictures.
Oh, pictures. Here we go. Oh, yeah. There's the obligatory intro title screen, and that's Picard and the guys discussing the problem in engineering, which we were trying to get away with not saying. And there's Picard telling Riker. There's a lot of pictures in this one. This Picard telling Riker that congratulations on his promotion to captain of the Ares. Yeah, so he's telling him on the bridge that there's a strategic advisor, attaché, with knowledge of frontier regions. He thinks he will find it interesting. So Riker heads off to the transporter room to greet the attaché on board. When he gets there, it turns out to be none other than his old man, Kyle Riker. There we go.
There he is in his
Kyle
one piece.
In his one piece. They really had some gopping outfits, didn't they, in the first couple of seasons of TNG?
Yeah, it's like everybody wears pajamas.
Yeah.
Like the last 16 months, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I suppose
right.
so.
Yeah.
They were going through COVID.
Yeah. Kyle says he asked Picard to keep it quiet as he didn't want Riker to be nervous or excited. And Riker was like, that's not the emotions that I'd go with. And he doesn't seem pleased to see his dad at all. His dad tells him he's done well being first officer of the Enterprise. And Riker says, well, I've worked hard. He tells Riker he's proud of him. But Riker says he'll have to excuse him because he has duties to attend to, and he gets the transporter guy to arrange a security escort for his dad. And he leaves.
He ain't impressed.
So yeah, no, we're not
He ain't
getting
a
a
happy camper.
we're not getting the idea that they've got a nice loving relationship.
No.
Quite the opposite, actually.
Yes.
And apparently Mitchell Ryan, the guy who plays his dad there, was one of the original top choices to play Picard.
Was he?
Apparently so. And also, both of those actors, Mitchell Ryan and Jonathan Frakes, they were both in the series North and South about 3 or 4 years previous to this, as with Jonathan Frakes as Stanley Hazard and Ryan as Tillet Maine.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, they've been in things together before.
I've seen stills of Jonathan Frakes in that show, and he just looked, even though it was only a few years before the filming of started on TNG, he just looked so much younger, so much like skinnier.
Good evening, Smiler. I've just seen you're on chat. You've managed to join us. So you've done your taxi servicing, and you're here. No love lost between them. Later, Wes finds Worf in the corridor, and he starts going on. He's excited about Riker's dad coming on board, and he's like, you don't have a dad, and neither do I. And Worf just turns and shuts him down and tells him it's a waste of time thinking about such things. And Wes goes on to continue, but Worf shouts, "Enough!" and storms off down the corridor. In engineering, Geordie's not enjoying having lots of contractors poking around his engines. Wes comes in, visits, and says that he thinks Worf is really eccentric sometimes. And Geordie's like, yeah, no kidding. I think that's an interesting turn of phrase.
It was a diplomatic choice of words for sure.
Yeah. Which I just thought was quite funny. He recounted the bits of the encounter in the corridor, and he thinks something's really bothering him. Then in 10 forward, Riker's having a drink with O'Brien. It seems they're besties. Who knew? O'Brien inquires to what's wrong with him. Is it female, career? But Riker's like, no, family. And Brian says, you can choose your friends, you can choose your enemies, but your family, that's in the stars. And Riker Sr. walks in and meets a load of people he knows and sort of like shaking hands.
So glad I didn't do that question.
Oh, what? On that quote?
Yeah, I was going to, but I haven't. So I am glad that I didn't.
Yay!
I was going to do the whole, what did he say? What was the end of the quote? Stars, because I thought it was a bit odd. It's a bit of a weird expression.
Yeah, I guess it means in like the stars, as in like, fate and like astrology and that sort of thing. I don't know. Yes. So yes, he comes in. He's greeting people, and people he knows, including, it turns out, Dr. Pulaski. He asks her if she wants a drink, and she's like, "How about a kiss?" And they kiss.
Sick moment. This is why this episode is called the Icky Factor.
The Icky Factor. Yeah. So yeah, it turns out that Riker's dad and Dr. Pulaski were, back in the day.
Oh, I don't even want to.
Just put that in your brain box, G.
No.
Boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah. um. So yes, they kiss and hug, and of course that surprises Riker and O'Brien, who are sort of watching all this from across them forward. And O'Brien observes that, well, I know her as well, but we don't do that. In engineering, Wes is telling Data about Worf, but both Data and Geordi think he's overreacting. But Data decides to apply, how about implying empirical study? By studying the subject and coming up with a hypothesis. And Wes is like, great, when do we start? And Data and Geordi look at him and go, no, you found the problem. You look into it.
And how long does that last?
Yeah. Back in 10 Forward, Riker decides to gate crash his dad's and Dr. Pulaski's reunion. And Dr. Pulaski asks Will to join them. Why don't you join us? But he's like, I didn't realize you knew each other. And she's like, oh, never came up. Yeah, his dad's like, Will, why don't you sit down? And he says, no, Dad, I'm ready for my briefing now. And just leaves, walks off. And that's the end of Act 1.
Are there any pictures? I don't know.
Oh, gosh, yeah, sorry. There's probably loads. Oh, there you go. That's them watching Dr. Pulaski and Kyle kissing and hugging. And that's them just before the kissing and hugging. And this is them kissing and hugging. Oh, no. We're not going to put that.
I already had to throw up once when I watched the episode. I don't want to do it again.
Yeah, well, we'll leave it on that one. There we go.
Be gone.
Geordi and Data then enter 10 Forward looking for Worf, whilst Dr. Pulaski and Kyle Riker go on reminiscing. It turns out that Dr. Pulaski's been married 3 times to all good men, apparently. She says her ex-husbands were more in touch with themselves than Kyle was, as he has a crusty reputation. He's crusty with a reputation of being tough. She knows him really well.
He is a bit crusty.
He is a bit crusty. But he's not so bad, and some even love him. But then, of course, there's Will. And Carl's like, great, yeah, then there's Will. So it turns out Data and Geordi are in 10 Forward because they've been duped by Wesley, who claims he needs time to study, so has left the investigation of Worf over to them. And Geordi's like, you fool. Geordi wants to leave Worf to it, but Data thinks that interaction will show whether Worf's okay or not. He thinks that maybe he's lonely, and that interaction will alleviate his anxiety. Geordi's like,
silly android.
Be my guest, Data. Go right ahead. So with a great Data smile, he walks over to Worf and tells him he has friends who can help him. Which Worf replies, "Be gone, sir." He puts "sir" at the end of it. He knows not to push his luck. Yeah. Data like...
Yep.
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, everybody in chat saying like how good it is that you and Smiley Rainbow have been going to the gym and everything.
Yes.
They're all proud of you guys.
Yeah, we've been going 3 times a week now for like 3 weeks.
Very good.
Yeah. Yeah, we were feeling it today because we went yesterday and then decided to go today as well. So we've been 2 days in a row. So we're a little bit
That's not good.
we're a little bit achy today. Maybe we won't do that. But we kept it low, we didn't push ourselves too badly. But I'll tell you what I've discovered. I don't know, have you ever tried the Stairmaster? You ever been to a gym and actually tried a Stairmaster? Proper Stairmaster?
No.
I've never been to a gym.
Well, oh God. I tell you what, I hate that thing. I hate that thing so much. It just wears you out. Yes, so that's going quite well.
Be gone.
Be gone.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were trying to remember where you were.
I am. Yeah, I am. But I like the way he's like, when he said like, you know, he's like, "Be gone!" And like Data's like, "Whoop." You know, you can imagine like a cartoon where like phlegm comes out, like blasts of air, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, so like Data sort of shrinks back towards Geordie and concludes Worf is sincere in his desire of solitude. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. In his quarters, Will's looking at a city scene on his laptop, which...
Question time.
Okay, that's question time.
I have to jump in here, sorry, because I'm afraid that you're going to mention it. So it's the next scene that's about to come up. But anyway, so when Worf enters Riker's quarters, what does he state is not easy for him? A, friendships, B, words, C, goodbyes, or D, asking for help. When Worf enters Riker's quarters, what does he state is not easy for him? A, friendships, B, words, C, goodbyes, or D, asking for help.
I'm sure Smiler will get a version of that in chat shortly. So Will's looking at a city scene over his laptop, and as I'm looking at it, I recognise one of the buildings in this scene as the Burj Al Arab, which is in Dubai. I've actually got a picture.
Picture of the picture.
A picture of the picture, yeah. So bear with me a moment as I just share that one. So that's the picture you see.
Yeah. There it is on the right.
And so, yeah, you can see this building here is the Burj Al Arab, which is in Dubai and was finished, I think, in 1999 or 2000, or around the year 2000. This episode came out in 1989. I think it was filmed in 1988. So there's no way a picture of that building can be in this shot unless...
I wonder what that picture originally was before they remastered it.
Well, I have the original.
Oh, cool.
So that was the original. As you can see, all the big buildings aren't here. They took this shot and thought that looked really dull, and it looks like it looks.
Why was that so important to them?
I don't know. It seems to be for the HD upscaling. It seems to be the only thing they changed in the episode, really. But
to get consumers to pay an extra, £15 to buy the updated version.
I mean, this looks like an old composite shot of possibly Las Vegas. But
I was going to say one of the buildings on the left-hand side of the picture looks like one of the hotels from Las Vegas.
Well,
that's
here,
the newer version. No, it's in the front, in the middle, where it's blank at the moment. If you go back to the
that one,
yeah, that building in the front, that looks
one.
like one of the hotels in Las Vegas.
It looks a little bit like the Mandalay Bay, like the big golden one at the end of the strip.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of these buildings are in Dubai. One of them is in China.
Valencia.
And I think this one down here, this glowy ball-like building, is in Valencia, in Spain. But they're all around the turn of the century.
That one that looks slightly pyramid-y next to the Burj Al Arab looks familiar to me as well. But what is the one from China? Is it the one on the far left? Is that from like the Olympic Village in Beijing?
This one, I don't know. It actually says in the in this website here. Here it's in the center left is the Metro Authority headquarters in Guangzhou in China. Center left is the cyber texture in Mumbai. Center right is the Raffles Hotel Dubai. Far right is the Burj Al Arab. And the lower right is the Hemispheric Twilight in Valencia. So there you go.
Thank you for putting up the question, Smiler. Come on, guys, get your answers in.
So yes, we noticed that they heavily doctored that one image for whatever reason. They just thought it didn't look good enough, so changed it. There you go. Where's my notes? I've lost my screen. Yeah, so Will's in his quarters. He's looking at a city scene on his laptop, and then some pictures of him and his dad fishing. When Worf enters, they talk about a photo of Will holding the fish, and Will says, "I didn't even catch it. I hooked it on the line, but then my dad took the rod away because he was afraid I would lose it." And Worf asks to join Riker on his new assignment. He says there's potential for combat in the ship, and he wants to die a warrior's death. And Riker's like, "I've not even accepted it yet." But Worf's like, I know you'll do the right thing. We got all the answers, Gene?
No, but I'm going to do the answers anyway,
Right.
because there's the next question coming up.
Okay.
So the correct answer was, and it was a Lieutenant Commander question again. So we've got 25 points going in the bag, but it's to both Mickey and to Stu Plum. Well done. You got the right answer. And what he says that is not easy for him is words.
Words.
And Mickey says he remembered it because of like the song, you know, like words don't come easily.
Don't know the song.
That might be a different one, but yeah.
No, don't do it.
Well, because I think the one that I'm thinking of is like Boyzone or some boy band or something. But so it might be a different one.
Well done on your Lieutenant Commander promotion.
If anybody wants to sing it, let us know and we'll bring you on. Yes, congratulations, guys. Sorry, Karen, for missing out. Later on, Riker joins his dad in the observation lounge for the briefing. So his dad hands him the briefing back and says, "Everything you need to know is here." And Riker's like, "Well, if that's it, why didn't you just send it over?" But his dad said it's because I wanted to see I'm proud of you, you know. And he says that keeping in touch is not his strong suit, and says there are no manuals for being a parent. You just got to wing it. And he goes to carry on and say about Will's mother when she died, but Will cuts him off and says he's got to go and read the mission briefing. His dad stops him and he says, "Look, son, I'm here with my hands out." But Riker just turns and walks out. "You're too late, Karen." You're too late.
We already gave the answer.
Yeah, we've already given the answer. But it's a nice try. We like the effort. Yeah. Act 3. We're on Act 3 already. This is going well.
Golly.
Kyle visits Dr. Pulaski in sickbay, where Pulaski says she's prescribing one of her patients PCS. What's PCS? Oh, look, my little quiz thing. What's PCS stand for?
I thought she was giving them TLD.
No.
Tender Love and Death.
Oh, I know.
PCS. What's PCS?
Yeah. Pulaski's chicken soup.
Pulaski's chicken soup. Yeah.
But she gives that to them with tryptophan lysine distillate.
Yes. But I thought that was boring. I preferred the prescription of
I got
PCS.
there in the end.
Deanna, who's been watching, says that Dr. Pulaski's greatest medical skills is with her empathy.
brown nose.
Yeah. Since when? Since when?
Yeah, she's one of the most unsympathetic doctors we've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh. I wheezed at that moment. Yeah. So yeah. Where is it? Empathy. The word empathy is here somewhere. Empathy. There you go. So the doctor introduces Troy to Kyle, and then excuses herself. And Kyle thinks that he smells a setup. To which Troy's like, "You're quite correct." Troy tells him he's anxious about Will, that he would like to be closer to his son. Kyle's like, "Well, we do have similar tastes in women, wouldn't you say?" And I thought about it and thought, well, hang on, he was with Dr. Pulaski, and Riker's with Troy. How's that similar? But you know.
He's just in a pervy way saying that he fancies Troy. But
Oh, is that what he was saying? Oh,
Yeah, he's just slimy, isn't he?
I thought he was just saying Troy and Dr. Pulaski are so alike.
don't think so.
Oh, right. No, he's just being. Ew.
It was a come on line.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh dear.
It's worse than that. He flirted Jim.
Yeah. Troy says she can help. Carl says he tried to bury the hatchet, but the ground's frozen up. He just wants something
That
back.
was quite a cool phrase, actually. I've never heard that
it's
before.
good, isn't it? Yeah. He just wants something back from him, some acknowledgement, maybe. Kyle thinks his son must find her candor fascinating, but Troy says that what he likes most is honesty, and that Kyle needs to be honest about why he's so competitive with his own son. And Kyle dismisses the notion and says he's here to help him with his new assignment, not to compete with him. And she says
she really goes for the jugular though during this whole thing.
Yeah.
She's sort of he's saying, I'm proud of my son, and she's like, no, you covet his success.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, but I always knew he'd do it. And she's like, and now that's just false humility. Like everything he said, she was just like really kind of coming down on him, and she's normally so sensitive, and sort of like a peacemaker. It was really different to sort of see her going for the jugular, especially meeting like her ex-boyfriend's dad for the first time. You think like she would have, I don't know, wanted to get him on side in some way, but yeah, she certainly didn't pull any punches.
Yeah, I think it could have been the fact that he tried to come on to her.
Maybe
might have like
Yeah.
put her off. Like
That,
she's like, all right.
and she can probably sense a lot of what he is actually feeling.
Or the one other thing I'm thinking of is, Riker and Troy have a lot of history, don't they, with their previous relationship and whatnot. I can imagine that maybe in those early days, Riker was quite damaged by his dad, and probably, in that sort of late teens, early 20s male way,
so she had
probably
a preset
moaned
grudge against him.
Probably moaned about him all the time. It's like, oh, my dad, so she just like had this inbuilt, like, one day
you damaged him.
One day when I meet him, I'm going to give him a piece of
tell
my
him
mind.
exactly what I think about him.
And she's been waiting. She's been waiting for this day for the last 20 years.
Mickey just said what we were saying because she knew his dirty old man thoughts.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, she saw inside his mind and it was not clean.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You can nearly see inside his pants with what he's wearing and all. It's just not good, is it?
It's not good luck, is it? It's not something I ever want to wear when I'm in my 60s.
It's like they sat down and thought, what's the most unflattering thing we can design?
Yeah. Yes. So he says he's here to help him with his new assignment, and she's like, "How are you sure he'll actually take it?" And he says, "Of course, it's a dangerous assignment. I know he'll take it because I would." And she's like, "He's not you." Anyway, Riker is reading his briefing in his room when Picard comes in, and Riker questions Picard about the first officer on the ship that he's going to, a Officer Flaherty, and his linguistic skills, which Picard tells him he speaks 40 languages and can pick languages up almost instantly. So basically, his first officer is like a walking universal translator. That's the problem with this show, is whenever have they met a new alien species and not been able to communicate with them? Probably
Even then, like, it only takes like 5 minutes for the universal translator to sort of pick up on it and decipher.
Yeah. Maybe Darmok.
Well, wasn't there that species that they could never kind of... It was those ones
They
that were like in the
speak
shadow.
metaphor. Oh,
The Darmok
I
ones.
thought you were going to talk about Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
Well, that one, I'm thinking of. But then there's another one where every time you sort of saw their bridge, they were kind of darkened out and just like really almost as if they were mirrored and stuff was shining off them. And it was this species that the Federation hadn't been able to kind of make relations with for, I can't remember if it's on TNG or on one of the other offshoots.
I
think it's on TNG.
Yeah, I think it was. Can't remember what it was now. Don't know. There was that one, what was it called? I think it's about season 6 or 7, where they get kidnapped in their dreams. And
when they're sleeping, you mean?
Yeah,
schisms.
Schisms, and they make clicking noises that doesn't get translated by the universal translator.
It's one of my favorite episodes, that Schisms.
Oh, it's a good episode. It's a very good episode, and hella creepy.
Great episode. Love it.
Yes. So they're talking about this walking universal translator of a first officer.
And they actually had a character with the same sort of ability in Enterprise.
They did, didn't they? Yeah.
Hoshi Sato apparently was the same, in that they had that ability to speak all sorts of different languages.
Yeah, because Enterprise, they didn't have a universal translator, apparently. It was before they had that ability. Not that they really met any aliens that didn't speak English, but there you go.
That's not right.
No.
I mean, if you've got a universal translator, at least it explains it away. But
yeah,
if you haven't, then you should make more effort to... Anyway. Lazy writing.
Yeah. Then Kyle enters and greets Picard and asks him if he's ready for command. And Picard says, yes, he is. Kyle and Riker argue again about Kyle never being around. And Kyle says, I was there for the first 15 years of your life, and if that was not enough, that's too bad. And walks out.
Oh, question time. I think this is question time.
Okay. You're not sure?
So, yeah, there's one. Have you got to the point where Kyle's hanging outside Riker's room? Well, come back to me then.
Okay. I will. In engineering, Geordi is now worrying that he might have actually missed something, because he's been fretting all day, and he's like, well, what happens if I was wrong? When Wes enters with news that he's figured out what's wrong with Worf, and it's the fact that it's 10th anniversary of his Age of Ascension. And this is a ritual that Klingons need to spend with other Klingons, Klingon friends and family. So Worf's feeling culturally isolated. So they decide to go program the ceremony into a holodeck using holodeck Klingons. And the crew will replace his family. Riker visits Dr. Pulaski and apologizes for his behavior in 10 Forward. And Pulaski asks him if he knows why his father never remarried. And Riker's like, well, who would have him? Which I thought was pretty harsh. Pulaski says, no.
I would have.
Oh, yeah.
Cold minute.
Oh, yes. I was just looking for my line. She says she would have in a cold minute.
That's all the kind of minutes she knows, though, is cold ones.
Cold ones, yeah. Again, an interesting turn of phrase.
I would have in a hot minute. Would have probably sounded better, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cold minute.
She's just Ice Witch.
That's right, Guy. Don't hold back. Don't don't hide your feelings.
Well, she certainly didn't towards Data, so you know.
That's right. She tells him that 12 years ago, Carl's starbase was attacked and he was the only survivor. And she nursed him back to life, and that's when they fell in love. She advised him that if he's taking up position on the Ares, to jettison this emotional baggage he's carrying round with him. And Riker agrees and leaves. Act 4.
Question time.
Okay.
So Riker is, Carl Riker is hanging outside of Riker's cabin. But what time is Carl Riker due to depart the Enterprise? Is it A, 1600 hours, B, 1700 hours, C, 2000 hours, or D, 2100 hours? What time is Carl Riker due to depart the Enterprise? A, 1600 hours, B, 1700 hours, C, 2000 hours, or D, 2100 hours. This was a commander question and it's worth 50 TNG points and a commander promotion.
Cool.
We're still not
By
at
the time
that
you
bit,
continue
but-
on, you might actually get to the bit that the question was about.
Yeah, might do. I said I
I'm
would
just
tell you.
panicked. I'm just panicked that
You
you're going to say it.
Oh, I wouldn't have said that anyway. Anyway, back at engineering, they're working out the details of the ceremony, and Geordi thinks, would it contain a 20-piece orchestral choir, a fancy ballroom, and everyone in full dress? But Wesley's like, nah, just lots of pain sticks. And Geordi's like, great.
The internet has stopped the stream.
Yeah.
Bear with me.
Oh no. Oh.
We're back.
Mickey says he's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Oh, no.
We's back, baby.
Buffering, Stu Plum says. Lag, Smiler says.
Yeah,
You paused for a bit, Monty, but
I
we
did.
can hear you again now.
yeah. My internet blipped out of existence. But it's back
It was
now.
blippy.
It went all blippy. Yeah. It went.
So a test of strength and pain sticks was where I heard up to.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll just start. Yeah, I think some people, thank you. Thank you, Smiler. Yes, they were working out the ceremony, and Geordie said, oh, is it going to contain a 20-piece orchestra, fancy ballroom with everybody in full dress code? And Wesley's like, nah, just lots of pain sticks. And Geordie like, great, and we have to witness this. And Wesley's like, yeah. In the ready room, Riker asks if he would be a fool to turn down the promotion. Picard doesn't know. He can't answer him. On the Enterprise, he has a position of distinction. You know, he's famous throughout Starfleet. But at the end of the day, it's still second in command. With your own ship, you'll soon be vibrant with your own style and vision. There really is no substitute for holding down the reins.
I like the way before he says that, he's like, there really is no substitute for holding your own reins.
Don't tell anyone
Don't let
this,
the rest
but
of the crew know that I love it so much.
it's great being in the captain's chair. We all know it, Picard. Nobody fantasizes about sitting at the helm. Like, you know, doesn't happen, does it? Oh, I really want to stand at the arch behind the captain's chair. That's what I want to do. No, everybody wants to sit in the captain's chair. So, yes. But Riker, before he leaves, says he needs more time. Back at engineering, they still haven't found any issues. O'Brien thinks there's no harm in them looking, is it? And Geordie's like, oh, really? Wow. Maybe they should go over the transporters next. O'Brien's like, no problem. We're totally shipshape. Data confirms that if he wasn't a consummate professional and an android, he would have found the entire procedure insulting.
It's a great line.
Yeah.
Well delivered.
Yeah. Wes asks O'Brien if he can attend the ceremony, and he's like, yeah, sure, sounds fun. Will goes to say goodbye to Troy, and it starts all professional, but it ends up all getting emotional and touchy-feely, and
bit wet.
they hug and, you know,
She cries.
we're all feeling sad that he might be
She
going.
falls into his hairy chest.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go for answers?
Well, say the next line states
Just reached.
Riker then heads back to his quarters where he finds his dad waiting for him outside.
And Carl Riker says to him, I'm due to depart the Enterprise at 2100 hours.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a D, is it?
That's a D. So that means that Mickey's getting a commander promotion, Karen's getting a commander promotion. Points roundup, we've got Mickey on maximum points of 100 so far. We've got Karen on 75 and Stu Plum on 25. The next question coming up is a special Rite of Ascension question worth 50 TNG points.
Ooh.
Just to remind you on that one, Monty, and the pictures.
Oh, pictures. Oh, there's Wes.
Random Wes.
Not to move it on to the picture that we were talking about.
Oh, well, there's Wes,
There's
talking
Wesley.
about the ceremony. There's Riker debating whether he should take
Whether
the
to take the
commission.
fish,
Do
take
I-
the fish tank with him.
Can I take your lionfish with me? No.
Yeah.
There's the
Ah.
weepy and emotional. Told you it's got lots of pictures in this one, and I just keep forgetting to press the.
Yeah, be careful, be careful. Do not go onto the picture.
Oh, can't go on to the next one. Okay.
No.
Oh, God. Oh, no, I've lost it.
Okay, now there's no need to wig out.
I'm
What
panicking.
are you doing?
Right, there we go.
Right, yeah.
Is that
Leave
right?
it where it is. Yeah.
I'm leaving it. I'm not doing anything.
Okay. Leaving it.
Okay.
Let me know when you're getting on to that scene.
So his dad wants to talk to him, and he says to Riker he needs to lower his shields, but Riker's having none of it, saying, I'm asking you to leave, or I'll... But he doesn't finish his sentence. Carl thinks it's a shame that there's no Ambo Jitsu ring on the ship, but Riker says there is, on Deck 12 in the gymnasium. So they challenge each other to an Ambo Jitsu competition. Act 5. Kyle arrives in sickbay because he's been called there by the doctor. She's not happy when she hears about the Ambo Jitsu competition. She's concerned that he's going to hurt himself, but Kyle's confident because Riker's never beaten him.
They're laughing in chat at your picture panic.
I know. Yeah. I'm going to the holodeck now for the ceremony.
Is there a question then?
Oh, sorry. I was thinking about
In
something.
another
Okay.
world.
Yeah, I'm in another world. But it was in question world. So
Oh.
question time.
Yay.
Okay, so this is the Rite of Ascension question. It's worth 50 TNG points. And no promotion to Ascension. Well, yeah, I suppose you could. Yeah, throw it in there. You ascend. Okay.
Woo!
This is beginning to sound like a cult.
Here is Here is the question. How many Klingons are in the Ascension Chamber? How many Klingons are in the Ascension Chamber?
The picture doesn't show any Klingons. I don't think.
It does.
It might.
I don't think it does. Is there?
There's one that does.
Is there no options then to this? Then?
No,
Oh, it's
this
Captain.
is a Rite of Ascension Rite of Ascension question.
Right of Ascension.
Yeah, it doesn't come with multiple choice. You got to earn that ascension.
Who's gonna get some paint sticks?
So, is it before or after Worf enters the holodeck, though? Because
Well, it's in the Ascension Chamber.
yeah, but is it? How many
Well,
are
we
there?
don't see the
How many
Ascension Chamber
Klingons?
until Worf is there anyway.
Okay.
Do we?
So you count Worf is what I'm asking. Because Worf walks in, doesn't he? So it's like the number of Klingons that are there changes at the moment he walks in. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, that's the point that we've got to where he's in the Ascension Chamber, right?
Oh, actually, no, we haven't. No, they're just inspecting their
Well, let's
work.
fast forward and act like we have.
All right, so including Worf, then, including Worf, everybody.
Yeah. How many actual Klingons are in the Ascension Chamber?
I've got a couple
After
of trivia
Worf
bits.
enters. Yeah.
Couple of trivia bits about the Klingons there. I just thought I'd maybe while we're discussing or pausing.
Okay.
So apparently there was also Star Trek V: The Final Frontier was being filmed at the same time, like literally at the same time. So there was a bit of a sort of clash of needs over Klingon props and uniforms. So for this episode, the however many it is Klingons, most of them were wearing boots from the old Planet of the Apes TV series because they'd run out of like Klingon boot props. The other thing was, well, it's a couple of things relating to it, but there is I don't know if you guys read about a cameo appearance from somebody in this as one of the Klingons.
No.
It was John Tesh, who hosted Entertainment Tonight in 1981, had this cameo role, and he's called John Tesh, and they actually dubbed the Klingon he played Katesh. And it featured quite a lot, like on his Entertainment Tonight program. Like they talked about the fact because he was such a big fan, and they'd given him this cameo role, and so it got talked about quite a lot on Entertainment Tonight. And actually, there's an official Star Trek customizable card game that got called Katesh as well, which was his character name. So his cameo role sort of became a bit of a thing in Star Trek lore. And he was the penultimate one on the left.
Stu Plum already said 9.
Did he?
Yeah.
Where?
Further up.
Yeah, and he said including Worf.
Yeah, 9 including Worf. Yeah.
And Karen says 6, and Mickey says 9. Yeah. You've got to scroll up, dude. It's just after Mickey's smiley faces.
I can see it's included Morph, but I can't see.
No,
below the crying faces.
Mickey's smiley faces.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, he was fast off the mark.
He was straight in there. Yeah.
Do you want to get to the picture then? And we can all work it out for ourselves.
Told you, it doesn't have any Klingons in it.
No, it's the next picture then.
No.
Oh, I saw it earlier this afternoon.
It's the picture at the very beginning. It's the picture at the very beginning.
Yeah, that's the one.
Here we go.
I knew there was a picture somewhere.
There you
go. Yeah, that one. So, yeah, let's count them. How many actual Klingons are in the Ascension Chamber?
9.
1. The rest of them are holograms.
Oh, yeah.
Got everybody on that one. I said actual. I made it very clear to say actual.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't make the questions. G does. That's all I'm saying.
Do not smash the thumbs down button.
No.
Do not
No. Yeah, 1.
I've never done a trick. Well, it wasn't a trick question. I don't see that as a trick question.
It's very good, G. Very good.
Was good.
Yeah. So, yes, in the holodeck, Data, Geordi, O'Brien, Dr. Pulaski, and Wes are inspecting their Klingon creation. There are 2 rows of 4 Klingons all holding pain sticks. As they walk around, O'Brien recounts a horrific story about the sort of damage pain sticks can do. The story leading to an animal's head exploding.
Yeah.
Dr. Pulaski's like, that's enough. Meanwhile, Troy's leading Worf around to the holodeck, who's not in the mood for their games. So I'm not in the mood for your games. She says she knows.
It's nice, though. It's like they're taking him to his surprise birthday party or something.
She's like, it's all right. We know it's an important day. He's like, how could you possibly know? It's only for Klingons. But Troy says, yes, it's for Klingons and resourceful young ensigns. He's like, Wesley Crusher. So she leads him to the holodeck. But doesn't go in. And the wife's like, you're not coming in? And she just simply replies, no. And walks off.
It's not for her.
No. No. So he enters and is surprised to find an ascension ceremony. Geordie wishes him happy anniversary, which wasn't really quite in keeping with the whole theme.
And funnily enough, this is for Pulaski, sadistic bitch.
Yes, right.
I
Yeah.
didn't say that.
Worf tells the Klingon warriors that today I am a warrior, and I will show you my heart. I must travel the river of blood. And he steps through the trench there whilst being prodded with pain sticks. The doctor wants to help, but O'Brien holds her back. And he gets out the other end, looking in great pain, but is grateful to his friends for the experience. And then they all look at each other as if to say, now what?
That was a bit weird.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, uncomfortable.
What do you do with that?
Awkward.
Yeah. In the observation lounge, Dr. Pulaski reports to Troy that Worf is fine, but she's happy that humans have progressed beyond the need for these barbaric displays. And Troy's like, oh, really? Like the Rikers are in the gym right now, ready to commit barbarism of their own. She says human males are unique. The fathers perceive their sons as always being children. The sons charge against their father's expectations. And Pulaski thinks it's like they never grow up. But Troy thinks maybe that's their charm, why they like him so much.
So now, like, Pulaski's gone from insulting Data to insulting all men.
Well, she's not wrong.
Yeah, but parents see their daughters as little girls, no matter how old they are, too.
It's true.
There's no need to single out men.
I will always be my mum's little boy, and you will always be her little girl. Yeah. And
I'll just be that guy that came along for free food.
Yeah. 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 And threw up in the spare room.
All right, let's not talk about that. Let's not go there. Let's not go there, because we can. We can talk about many different things.
No. Let's carry on. Meanwhile, in the gym, the Rikers are dressed in motocross enthusiasts. There they are.
Yeah, there you go.
Holding pugil sticks, and they start fighting by flicking down their visors, which means they can't see anything, and then start waving their sticks around. And they do this until Will knocks Kyle to the ground. He tells Kyle that he should have died, not his mother, which was quite harsh. They say some more Japanese words.
That was like a pure stick to the groin, that one.
I think the
below the belt comment.
The words hurt more than the pugil stick did. They say some more Japanese words and they start the next round. And this time, Kyle gets the better of Will. And he tells him that you were too young to understand and I was too hurt to explain. Maybe I am no father, but you're no son, and maybe this fight is all we have left. They do some more stick waving at each other. And Kyle comes out on top due to an illegal move. And Riker objects. And Kyle's like, you're kidding. And Riker realizes now that all these years his dad's been cheating. Kyle explains that he had to keep him coming back for more, and by the time he was 12, he couldn't keep up with him, so cheating was the only way he could make him keep coming back. Kyle explained that he can talk to a room of admirals about anything in the galaxy, but he can't talk to his own son about how he feels. He tells him he loves him, but he has to go back now. And Will says he's glad that he came. And they pat each other on the shoulder.
So obviously, Ambo Jitsu is a fictional Japanese sport. I mean, it doesn't look massively Japanese in style, to be fair, but
there were lots of Japanese characters everywhere.
It's more like what's that game show?
Gladiator.
Yeah, it's more like Gladiator. Sure, they modelled the outfits on this episode.
And the pure sticks, but I mean, like Japanese martial arts stuff is normally so kind of graceful and precise, whereas this is just like bashing somebody with a big stick. But you mentioned that they said some stuff to each other. It was Yoroshiku Onogashimazu. Do you know what that means?
I did look up the words, but I was like, yeah, I'm not saying that. Because
Ah.
I'll massacre it and make myself look foolish. So I was like, no. I thought I'll leave
You
that to
found out what it
Maz.
means, did you?
I did read what it means, but I've forgotten now.
It means "please be kind to me" in Japanese.
I think when he,
So, okay.
he shouts out when Kyle breaks the rules, he shouts out something in Japanese.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a translation for that one.
I know what it kind of means.
Yeah. Whoa.
Okay, I won't say any more about that. Is it question time?
Is
Sounds
it the
like
end of the episode?
There's one last scene.
Not quite.
You want the
Okay.
last scene? On the bridge, Worf
Yeah.
reports that the contractors have now beamed back down, and Geordi confirms their recommendation is to reprogram the system to correct the anomalies, which is what Data said at the beginning of the episode. But Picard declares Riker has accepted the promotion. So Riker's accepted the promotion, so we'll be leaving him behind at the starbase. But then Riker enters the bridge and says he's decided to stay, which Picard grants. So Riker takes his chair and orders Wes to take them out of orbit. Picard's like, out of interest, why the change of heart? And Riker says, motivated self-interest. This is the best place for me right now. And so Picard's like, fine, fair enough. And says to Wes, engage. And they go on their journeys.
And so, bearing in mind his change of mind, do you guys know about Icarus or the sort of Greek mythology around Icarus? Like what
flew
it
too close
means?
to the sun, wasn't it?
Son?
Yeah, and specifically
his
against
wings.
his father's wishes.
Yeah.
So in this case, Riker kind of turns down a more dangerous assignment, so he kind of doesn't flow close to the sun, but still kind of goes against what his father thought he should do and what his father would have done in his position. So hence the Icarus Factor.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you.
Very cool.
I still think Icky Factor sounds better.
Have we got a last
Question time.
question time? Yeah.
It's the captain question. Remember, everybody, that the captain question is fastest on the buzzer. There is no multiple choice. It's the hardest question of the evening, as always. And it can be about any part of the episode. So the person that will get the 100 TNG points and the captain promotion, which we haven't had in 3 weeks, I don't think, will need to be the fastest on the buzzer and get it in chat as quick as you can. Here is the question. What is the name of the illegal move that Carl Riker has been using on his son for years? What is the name of the illegal move that Carl Riker has been using on his son for years?
Well, Mickey's answered already.
That's a good pose. Data's going, I don't know.
No.
I was actually going to do that as well. I use this emoji all the time.
Oh my God, Mickey. How did you get that? He's got Memory Alpha open right now, I think. It actually features on Memory Alpha. Sorry, everybody. Mickey's jumped in there. He's broken the curse of the last 3 weeks and not getting the captain question, and he smashed it with a full house this evening with his 100 captaincy points. Captain Mickey Early, you have 200 TNG points tonight, and we have Karen on 75 and Stu Plum on 25. So well done to everybody for getting on the scoreboard and getting a promotion, but well done and congratulations to Mickey for getting that captain promotion.
Small point of order. I don't think he got full points because nobody got the Worf question right. The Ascension question. But anyway.
Oh yeah,
But
I mean the
you
full
still
points.
got an amazing amount of points.
Yeah. You're right. Sorry, I wasn't counting the Ascension question. So, yeah, you're right. It wasn't a full house, but it was the captain
Still
question. So
pretty
well done.
high.
Stu Plum's just come in with an A.
Nice one, Steve Plum.
But
funny.
what does that
Always with the
mean?
funny.
What does that Japanese mean in English? It's something like it's the 8-step rule or something.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the translation is, but I know that there was a bit of a goof because it is actually a real word, but Jonathan Frakes pronounces it incorrectly
Right.
on camera. Yeah. So, Hashitan Koretsu.
Yeah, something like it's like the 8-step rule. So they made too many steps or something.
Ah.
That was my best impression of Japanese. Hashitan Koretsu.
So in this whole episode, which was pretty bonkers for, in terms of my research, but one goof. I looked on several different sites and I could only find one goof for this whole episode. And I haven't actually said it until now. But at the beginning, Picard says, take us into synchronous orbit. And towards the end, he says, break synchronous orbit. And there are 4 or 5 times throughout the episode where you see the Enterprise going around this planet. And the planet's going one way and the Enterprise going around the other way. So they are not in synchronous orbit at any point, but they mention it twice. And that's the only goof.
That's amazing.
Pretty cray-cray.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. But yeah, synchronous orbit would obviously be they would be holding position above the starbase
A
below.
certain place on the
So they would look in sync, going along the same. Yeah. There's also a little detail that, again, only shows up in the HD version, because in the non-HD version, the planet looks quite blurry and you can't see any detail in it. But in the HD version, or Blu-ray version, the one that's on Netflix, you can see that it's actually the Earth, and you can make out that it's actually the Mediterranean area below them. So
Wow.
they just used footage of from a satellite.
More footage of Earth.
Yeah. So
I was just thinking back to the Burj Al Arab.
yeah. It's not something they changed. They haven't changed this shot at all. It's just in HD. It's a lot clearer and you can see it a lot easier.
I forgot to mention as trivia as well, the mountain that appeared at the background of the cityscape picture, and when they were holding the fish, was it's called Denali now, but it was apparently formerly Mount McKinley, viewed from the north side.
And where's that?
I don't know actually. He said they were in Alaska.
Right.
But let me have a look at
It
where
must
that
be
actually
an
is.
Alaskan. Yeah.
Mount.
It sounds right, because they probably gave it a Western name and then
Mount McKinley, Alaska.
Yeah, it's probably reverted to an indigenous name, isn't it, as they've handed things back to indigenous people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at least that was right. It's just the city that was sort of superimposed.
So I think it's like it's Vegas superimposed in front of an Alaskan mountain with some Dubai and Shanghai buildings pasted on top of that. So yeah. Very cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mickey's saying they do gold mining in the rivers of Mount McKinley.
Yeah, right.
Interesting.
There you go.
Especially if you're into gold mining.
Who wouldn't be into gold mining?
Yeah.
I'd mine some gold.
Yeah, I'll sit there. I'll pan for gold. I've got patience. Get some nuggets.
Did you hear about that diamond rush in South Africa? I think it was in South Africa.
No.
A few weeks ago or a month ago. They found some large crystal rocks.
Was it quartz?
I don't know what it ended up being, but it looked very much like diamonds. Large ones just lying about the ground. So it caused a mass rush of literally tens of thousands of people rushing to this like hillside to these fields, and just digging. Just from miles you could see it's just like people staking out these areas and just digging. Yeah, people walking around with pockets of crystals they think are diamonds. But I didn't actually follow it up and actually hear what ended up, whether it was actually diamonds in the end. But they all seem to think it was. So what do we think of the episode then? Please feel free to start putting your scores in chat.
Well, it was not too bad from a point of view of character development. I think there was a lot of that, and from multiple different angles. You had the character development around Riker and his family. You had, some of the backstory of Pulaski. You had some of the character development around Worf and his rituals, and the crew supporting him as a lone Klingon. So, very much good from that perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of an episode that we've had in TNG so far that had that much character background development in one episode.
Normally they would only focus on one person for character development, and this was a whole bunch of people. But then on the flip side, there was pretty much no action, no effects, nothing of that, which probably because there were no effects is why there were so few goofs. But
no science fiction.
No, it was just it was
an episode of Neighbours on the Enterprise.
Yeah, Neighbours. Why Neighbours?
Well,
just trying to say it was like a soap opera.
Yeah, I'd at least gone with Home and Away.
Well,
is one really any better than the other?
Yeah, exactly. What are you going on about?
I don't know. I'm trying to make it seem like I know what I'm talking about.
Well, given Riker's the look of Riker's father, Carl, maybe we should say it was an episode of Dallas on the Enterprise.
He does look like he should be in Dynasty of Dallas.
Yeah,
he does. Yeah.
Oh, look, there's the make it so sort of at the end where they leave synchronous orbit. I missed that picture off.
Worf doesn't look as joyous as they said he was after his pain stick experience.
Well, it's because they make him stand all the time.
Mickey's giving it a 7.
7.
Get your scores in, guys. Let us know what you think.
Oh, and Mickey also says this episode was a warm and fuzzy Dr. P. What's not to like? Oof. Going for the controversial comments, Mickey. He's just trying to rile you up, G. Don't raise it. Yeah, no, go on.
Well, that's just wiped another point off of G's score.
Mickey's just got demoted to ensign.
Right, what am I going to give it?
Ensign Mickey early. And Karen, if you're still on board, you're now an admiral. Okay. And Stu Plum, if you haven't gone to bed yet, you are the president of the Federation. But Mickey, let's remember you're an ensign, and you can go along to sickbay and see Dr. Pulaski and cry on her shoulder.
You have to wear the uniform with the rainbow colours and nicely
just
in
like
season
Wes.
1. Yeah. Okay. Right, what we got then? Scores. Should we do a 1, 2, 3?
Scores on the board.
Scores.
What, is that what you want to score us to score? 1, 2, and 3?
No, I count down. And then we show.
Okay. I was going to say, ready? Are you ready?
I think I might have been a bit harsh.
Ready?
Harsh?
Ready?
I don't know. I feel I've been harsh now. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
See, that's what I was saying. I thought I already had a third of it.
I felt I was being a little harsh with a 6, but it was just
6 is fair.
It was okay. I thought it was above average in the fact of all the character development, and some of the writing wasn't too bad. I think there were a lot of good quotes in it.
Lots of great lines.
You know, the bit where Data goes up to Worf in 10 Forward was really funny.
I mean, you forgot to fix that line as well. Worf actually says, with all due respect, be gone!
Yes, sir.
It's even prefixed with all due respect. Like,
Yeah,
nobody
that-
says with all due respect without being about to say something highly disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's like when people say, no offense, but you know that's about to be followed by something really offensive.
I know. I told you this before, but my mate Gordon, I used to know as a software engineer at British Aerospace. We were in a car one day, just driving along, coming home from work, and he said, just out of blue, no, this didn't follow up any conversation or anything. He just said, I was just thinking, Mark, no offense, but if we were on a ship in the Atlantic Ocean and we sank, you'd probably last longer than I would, because, you got more insulation. I was like, what do you do with that?
I mean, it's factual. I've always said if I was, stuck in, the plane goes down in the North Pole or something, I'd probably be one of the last alive.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, of course, there's a few oceans in the world where you'd have to be concerned about the temperature, but ultimately, isn't the main thing when you're in water about sinking?
Well, you don't have to worry about
Yeah,
that
but
too
again,
much.
if you've got extra insulation, you're also very floaty.
Yeah, you're very buoyant. Yeah.
Yeah, people who have low body fat pretty much sink. I was it can be really beneficial for survival, but I remember on the sort of 4th or 5th day of like trekking through the mountains of Peru, we went to this hot springs place where we hadn't had a bath or shower. So it was just absolutely glorious. And I was just there, spread eagled on the water, just floating around. And everybody else was like, how do you float like that? Nobody else could float because they were all like skinny whippets, but I was just like able to completely relax and just float around the whole place. It was great. They were all jealous.
Sometimes I have to make a conscious effort for my bum not to rise up to the surface.
Yeah.
If I'm not careful, I just end up going,
Is
"Whoa."
that why you look like that when you're swimming?
Anyway, Mickey's pointing out that what Worf actually said when he walked the thing was, Da ja ja so wesh, Jimmy quetch, sa hawis it tiktok ve ja ja. There you go.
That's a pretty good impression, Monty. And yeah, I think he's just showing off about the level of notes that he takes.
Yeah, he basically writes down every single word that everybody says ever.
Night Stuplam. Yeah, well done.
Night Stuplam.
Well done, Mickey, in your massive dedication. Very cool. Oh, we did the scores, didn't we? So I need to put them up on the thing.
Yeah.
I need to put the scores on the thing and do the thing and all that.
Put the scores on the board. Oh, I look all big again for a moment. Quick, put the scores up. Hey, I'm little again.
There we go. So what did I gave it a 6.
See,
You
Mickey
gave
says
it
he
a
just wanted
6.
one of us to say it. So you obliged him. Thanks, Monty.
There we go. Well, he put the effort of typing it all out, so
Yeah.
Yeah. So a 5. It's that's
It's like the 1, 2, 3, like second or third worst, I guess.
yeah. So it's
Sorry.
down there. Sorry, episode.
Sorry I was so harsh, episode, but
Yeah.
I have to be honest with myself. I mean, I know my score is always partly about how I feel rewatching it as we're doing this show, but then I also have to think about how the episode made me feel when I very first watched it as well. And when I record, as soon as I started watching, I was like, oh yeah, this is the episode that it was the first ever episode that I never watched it fully through the first time round. I think, but I just got to be honest with myself and say that if we weren't having to watch it for the show, it's not one that I would choose to watch.
No, it is a little boring, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not science fiction. It's good. Like, I get what you guys are saying, and as you were saying it was a really strong point and really good argument. And I was thinking, should I change my score to a little bit? But again, I've just got to say, I've got to be honest. But it's a good point that you guys made. It was good character building, but then it's not really storylines that they went on to revisit down the road anyway. In terms of that, they didn't really revisit Riker's dad relationship. I think they mentioned it once in that episode where he meets himself.
Do the Jitsu Abu thing come up again?
Ambo Jitsu.
Ambo
I
Jitsu.
don't think so.
No, is it just this episode? Is it? Because they thought, that looked really silly. It does look like they just took some motocross, those bike outfits that bikers wear, on the mud.
Yeah, just really bad costume choices.
I've got an interesting photo just to complete things off. This is a photo from a deleted scene.
Between him and Data.
And there they are, Data and Geordie. So when they go into 10 forward and Geordie and Data admit that they've been duped by Wesley to do the investigation for him because he's got, what was it he said? Yeah, homework or study. He has to do his studying. This is that scene where Wesley tells them that, actually, I've got my studying to do for my exams on Thursday, so I can't possibly do it. You guys do it for me? Geordie's like, no, mate. But, he's got Data here, hook, line, sinker, and copy of Angular Times. And but that was a scene that they ended up taking out and just decided it would work better if they just described it in 10 forward instead.
But then they put it on like either the DVD or the Blu-ray copy or something as like an extra scene, an extra feature.
It's a bonus feature. Yeah, this is where this comes from. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So what's the next one then? Do we know?
No. TNG season.
Pen Pals.
Pen Pals. Oh no.
And I should probably mention at this moment that unfortunately I won't be able to join you for that one. I'm going to be in Kingston in London in a hotel.
If your hotel's got Wi-Fi, you could still join.
I can tell you now.
Nothing better to do.
From the same chain of hotels that I was staying in last week, their Wi-Fi is shockingly bad for 2021.
Ah, bumsy.
Well, we're going to be doing next week, and then I'll leave it up to you guys whether you want to do it for the next 2 weeks after that, because I will be on my hobballs with my family down the holiday home. So I don't know if we want to just put it on standover for a couple of weeks and come back to it.
Well, no, you guys definitely get that Pen Pals out of the way next week. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, we can do that.
Well, you decide whatever you want to do.
We can do that.
Yeah. And if you didn't join us at the beginning of the show, because I know there was some late arrivals, don't forget, if you're around and about and free on Friday night, it is the season finale for the Monty Zone. And we're having a best of episode, so come along and join us for that one.
Unless we just have the season finale and have this one tonight and then just say, well, we're going on a 3-week break. I don't know.
Yeah, and then we'd be back for the 11th, and then we'd be on we'd be back for 2 weeks, and then off for
another week. Yeah.
It's up to you guys. I don't mind. I am not going anywhere or doing anything because I am boring.
Okay, we'll do the TNG review next week. Yes, let's get this one done and dusted, and then we can come back after 2 weeks with Q Who, which is great.
Wicked.
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, thank you everyone for joining us this evening. Thank you for Mickey. Congratulations once again, Mickey. I forgot to tell you that currently the scores on the doors for our chat is Mickey's on 9 points, with Stu Plum on 2 points, and Joel and Karen on 1. So I think it's got to the point where Mickey has now won season 2. I'm not sure we've got enough episodes. Actually, no, we haven't. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes left. So even Stu Plum now cannot catch the all-conquering Mickey Early. So
Well
congratulations.
done, Mickey. Season 2 winner.
Yep. We'll have to work on a trophy. Yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Or a badge.
A badge. Yes. We'll sort out a badge. Yes. So thank you. Thank you to my wrench smiler for coming and sorting us out, even though I know you've been doing a number of other things this evening. So thank you very much. Always appreciated. And thanks to Karen and Stu Plum. And of course, my co-host G-Star Mazza McBob. And sorry about my internet. And it's crapping out halfway through the stream.
Yeah, it's starting to look like it's going to go any minute now. So yeah.
Yeah, I did turn off this afternoon actually for 10 minutes. So I should have known things weren't going well. I will end the stream with the thumbnail and some music just to make sure the lag's catered for. So we will see you next week for another TNG review, and Friday for the Monty Zone. We'll see you then. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.